Black belt challenges, black janitor to spar, just for fun. The shocking outcome stunned everyone. The gym was filled with the sound of punches and kicks, the smell of sweat lingering in the air. But when a seasoned black belt walked up to the janitor who had been cleaning the floors for years and challenged him to spar just for fun, no one knew the chaos that was about to unfold. The black belt's smug grin made it clear. He didn't think the janitor stood a chance. What followed, however, would leave the entire gym in stunned silence, questioning everything they knew about race, power, and respect. Get ready for the most shocking moment of the year. At a well-known martial arts academy, the main character, James, a skilled black belt, has trained for years under the guidance of his master. James has a reputation for being tough, feared by newcomers, and admired by many in the dojo. But there's one person he's never paid attention to, the janitor, Marcus. Marcus is a quiet, humble man who spends his days mopping floors and maintaining the dojo. He's always kept to himself, never showing any interest in martial arts, despite spending hours watching the classes. One day, after a particularly intense class, James walks by Marcus, eyeing him up. With a grin, he jokingly says, "How about a spar, just for fun?" The dojo's air grows thick with tension. Marcus looks up, his brow furrowing slightly, but he doesn't answer right away. The rest of the students look on, unsure of how to react. The black belt continues with his taunts, believing Marcus won't be able to handle the challenge. Everyone assumes it will be a quick victory for James, but Marcus stands tall and nods. The gym buzzes with whispers. "There's no way the janitor can hold his own," some murmur. "This is going to be embarrassing for him," others say. But little do they know. This challenge will bring more than just a fight. It will force everyone in the room to confront their biases and question their assumptions about race and strength. The gym goes silent as Marcus steps onto the mat, exchanging a determined glance with James. James, confident in his abilities, assumes his fighting stance, preparing to showcase his skills. The students gather around, eager to see the janitor get humiliated. The instructor even gives a brief nod as if expecting Marcus to back down, but he doesn't. The sparring begins, and James wastes no time going for an aggressive first move. He throws a series of punches, each aimed to overpower Marcus in the first few seconds. But to everyone's surprise, Marcus doesn't back down. He moves gracefully, his movements smooth, almost calculated. It becomes clear that Marcus isn't as inexperienced as they thought. James increases his speed and power, trying to land a clean hit, but Marcus is always a step ahead. The students exchange confused glances. They can't figure out why the janitor is holding his ground so well. What they don't know is that Marcus had spent years practicing martial arts in his free time, never wanting to show off his skills or draw attention to himself. His job as a janitor allowed him to observe the classes and learn the moves, but no one had ever taken him seriously enough to ask him to teach. The tension builds as James becomes increasingly frustrated. He's never had anyone challenge him like this before, especially not someone he considered beneath him. Every time he lands a punch, Marcus deflects or avoids it with surprising skill. The once quiet janitor is now moving with the precision of someone who has dedicated years to mastering his craft. But the actual shock comes when Marcus finally lands a clean hit, a perfect strike to James's chest. The crowd gasps. James stumbles backward, not expecting to be hit by the man he thought was inferior. The look on his face shifts from smug confidence to disbelief. As the fight continues, Marcus's calm demeanor and skill in martial arts begin to shine through, pushing James to his limits. The fight reaches its peak as James, exhausted and frustrated, tries one final attack, this time with everything he has. But Marcus, calm and composed, sidesteps him, expertly flipping him to the ground with one swift move. The gym falls silent as James crashes to the floor, stunned and gasping for air. He stares up at Marcus, who stands over him with an expression of quiet triumph, not gloating, but focused on the win. James struggles to get up, his pride shattered. He looks around at the students who had been watching, their faces a mixture of surprise and disbelief. The once jovial atmosphere of the dojo has shifted, replaced by an uncomfortable silence. Marcus extends a hand to help James up, but the black belt hesitates before accepting it. The moment is heavy with tension. Marcus looks down at James, not with anger, but with a look of understanding. "It's not about size or strength, James," Marcus says, his voice calm. "It's about respect. You never know what someone's capable of until you stop underestimating them." His words echo in the room, challenging the assumptions of everyone who had witnessed the fight. James, still shaken, looks around at the students. Their expressions have changed. They no longer see him as invincible. The power dynamic in the dojo has shifted. Marcus, the quiet janitor, has become the unspoken hero of the day. In the aftermath of the sparring match, the gym is quieter than usual. James, now nursing his bruises, sits on the edge of the mat, reflecting on what just happened. The instructor approaches him, offering a few words of advice, but it's clear that James has learned a valuable lesson. His view of Marcus has completely changed, and so has the way the other students see him. Marcus, however, returns to his duties as the janitor without fanfare. He goes back to sweeping the floors, his usual quiet self. But the students can't stop talking about him. The story spreads throughout the dojo, how the janitor, the man no one ever took seriously, had taken down the black belt with nothing but skill and respect. No one expected it, but everyone learned something that day. As for James, he begins to train with a new mindset. He learns to appreciate his fellow students more. He becomes a more humble fighter, realizing that strength isn't just about physical power. It's about knowing when to take pride in your skills and when to acknowledge the power in others. The dojo is forever changed. Marcus's victory became a lesson for everyone in the gym, that racism, prejudice, and assumptions have no place in the dojo or anywhere else for that matter, and that every person deserves respect, no matter their role, background, or appearance. The final message lingers in the air. Never underestimate anyone, for they might surprise you when you least expect it.